Hello everyone. So my name is Nissan Patel and today I am going to do a practical on embedded calculation versus standalone calculation over here. So for that our embedded calculation is margin. So I'll double click on margin and it will open the window called calculation definition over here. So in the so under expression model we can say that it gives us the calculation based on gross profits by revenue over here. So when I test the sample over here, it gives us the margin, and now I'll click OK, and then so to check that if the calculation is correct or wrong, I'll select revenue, gross profit and margin over here, and then I'll test the connection over here. So when I test the sample, it gives us the the value, and that is gross profit by revenue, and that is completely wrong. So it gives us the value based on gross profit over revenue by margin query. So when I click auto sum over here and then test the sample again, it shows us the uh, it gives us an incorrect value over here, and so the value which is gross profit by revenue, that gives us the completely wrong value. So now to overcome this issue, I am going to create two standalone calculation over here, and for that I'll go under model calculation and then right click over here, and then I'll select calculation. So so the first standalone calculation would be total uh, this is this is our first standalone calculation, and the name of the calculation is total gross total gross profit and total gross profit, and I'll define the expression definition for the total gross profit over here. So I'll use total function, and then I'll select gross profit under the sales fact, and then I'll complete the definition over here, and I'll test the sample, and as we can see that it has been successfully tested, and then I'll click OK. So it has created the total gross it has created the calculation of total gross profit over here. Now likewise we are going to create another calculation for the total revenue, and I'll define the expression for the total revenue, and for that I'll use total function, and I'll select revenue under the sales fact, and then I'll complete the definition, and then I'll test the sample. So yes, over here we can see that it has successfully tested the sample, and then I'll click OK. So over here we have created two standalone calculation to overcome that issue. Now I'll create aggregate calculation under the sales fact. So for that I'll right click on sales fact, and then select and I'll select query item under the create. Now I'll name it aggregate so aggregate margin, and then I'll under the expression definition, I will calculate total gross profit by revenue, and then I'll test the sample. so it throws us an error. So I'll I'll click OK right now and I'll rerun it. So when and so I'll double click on aggregate margin and then I'll test it again. Yes, so we can see that it has successfully tested, and then I'll click OK. Now I'll test aggregate margin over here. So for that I will right click on it and then select test, and then I'll test the sample over here. So it has successfully tested the sample. Now i'll I'll select revenue, gross profit, margin and aggregate, and then I'll test this sample. So we can see that it displays all the values in a line, in one line. So over here margin is an incorrect value and aggregate margin is the right value for the revenue by gross profit. So I'll click auto sum over here and now test the sample again. So what happens over here, it gives us the aggregate value uh, value after doing an auto sum of all the queries, and this is the right value, and margin is the wrong value for the revenue by gross profit. Now I'll close this window, and now I'll publish the package to generate a report. So I'll right click on go operational and click publish, and then I'll select next, and then next again, and I'll deselect verify the package before publishing, and then I'll publish the report. So and then I'll select yes over here. So yes, and now I'll click finish. So for generating the report, I will go to the IBM Cognos software, and then I will go to the author advanced report. So now I log into my uh, credential over here. Then under the public folder, I will select go operational. Now it is being processed. So it is taking a little bit more time for creating a report. Yes, so now we will create a new report, and which will be a list, and then I'll click OK. So it is loading the packages for us. So under foundation object view, and I'll expand go sales and then sales pack. So from here I will drag revenue uh, revenue on the board, and then gross profit, and then aggregate margin over here, and after that I'll run my report. So our report is being run. So yes, over here we can see that it gives us the correct value, and that is aggregate margin over here. So we have calculated the right value for the revenue by gross profit over here. So yeah, this is all about today's lab. Thank you so much.